Tashkent has two faces. There's this, a 2,000-year-old Silk Road city of mud brick lanes and blue-tiled mosques. And then there's this, which looks like someone airlifted a chunk of the Soviet Union and dropped it into Central Asia. And the second face is almost completely swallowed by the first. The question is why? And the answer comes down to about 30 seconds early one morning in 1966. In April 1966, a shallow earthquake hit Tashkent. Hardly anyone died, but the old mud brick city was so badly broken it was condemned and cleared. And the Soviets treated that as an opportunity. Moscow made rebuilding Tashkent a national project, poured in workers and architects from every republic, and reinvented the city as a showcase, wide boulevards and giant monumental buildings designed to make a point.
Again, the size of these buildings is very impressive. Over my right shoulder here, you can see Hotel Uzbekistan. I'm actually going to be staying there for the next 5 days. It is a true Soviet building, and it looks like it has a bit of age to it. And then another massive building behind me is the Palace of International Forums. Again, another huge building. And I'm in this wonderful park. Boys are doing some maintenance. And everything is just so perfect and beautiful here. There's no rubbish. I actually said to myself before, there's no dog poo that you have to, dodge and dive away from on the footpaths or anything. And the footpaths are really, really good quality. So I am thoroughly enjoying my time here in Tashkent. Oh yes. Oh, it's not too bad. What's the view like? Oh, a bit of a view. It's not too bad. Oh well, this is me for the next 4 or 5 days, I think. It's very affordable, but it is extremely busy in this hotel. It must be very popular. They've got some sort of show on downstairs as well. So I've got the bed here, and bed test. Yes, it feels original Soviet era bed. I'm gonna go and get some lunch now. I've had 2 Uzbekistani vodka made here in Uzbekistan. I've had 2 of those up on the rooftop bar, I guess. It's the top level bar anyway, level 17 of this beautiful building. Had to test the bed, had to test the vodka, and thumbs up everywhere.
And that's the thing about the rebuilt Tashkent. The Soviets didn't just build monuments to look at, they built ones you could live in. You can sleep in one and you can shop in another. Because this is Chorsu. There's been a market on this spot since the Silk Road, but that giant turquoise dome is pure Soviet engineering. A vast concrete shell wrapped in traditional tiling with a market roaring away underneath it exactly like it always has. So you can sleep in the rebuilt city and you can shop in it, but the best of it, you can ride through it because the real masterpiece is underground. This is the Tashkent Metro. The first metro ever built in Central Asia opened in 1977. And for over 40 years, almost nobody outside of the country had seen it, because taking a photo down here was illegal. The reason is up there in the design. The metro wasn't just transport, it doubled as a nuclear bomb shelter, blast doors, deep tunnels, the works. So the whole system has a military secret, and the cameras stayed out, right up until 2018, when the ban was finally lifted and the rest of the world got its first proper look at what Tashkent had been hiding. And what they'd been hiding were palaces. Each station is its own world: marble, chandeliers, mosaics, carved columns. They brought in artists from all over the Soviet Union, and you can see the 2 influences crashing into each other. Hard Soviet angles and Red Star symbolism side by side with the swirling blues and greens of traditional Uzbek design. This one's my favourite, Cosmonauta, the cosmonaut station. Glowing blue, lined with portraits of Soviet space heroes, Yuri Gagarin among them. It's the USSR showing off its proudest achievement, 16 meters underground in Central Asia. Yuri Gagarin visited Tashkent 6 times during his life. He had quite a short life, big life, short life. And the government in Uzbekistan at the time said, we want to make this part of our city. So here is a metro with all sorts of paintings dedicated to cosmonauts. Then you've got Alisha Navoy, all blue domes of the great Uzbek poet. Paktakor, covered in cotton flowers, cotton being the crop this whole region was built on. And remember why all this exists, the earthquake, so they built the metro to survive the next one. Dug into soft, shaky soil, the structures were engineered to ride out a magnitude 9 quake. This is possibly the most overbuilt, bomb-proof, earthquake-proof subway you'll ever set foot in. Riding it is its own experience. The old Soviet trains are still running, rough, loud, brakes that'll rattle your fillings. And the newer one that glides in, quiet and smooth, like 2 different decades pulling into the same platform. The air down here is stale and still, and there's nowhere to buy as much as a bottle of water. And a ride across the city costs you about 20 cents. 20 cents to ride through an underground art gallery that was a state secret a few years ago. Try getting that on the London Underground. And that's the whole story of this city in one place. Tashkent got knocked down, and instead of just patching it up, the Soviets rebuilt it bigger, grander, and more over the top than before. Right down to hiding a chain of marble palaces under the streets and refusing to let anyone photograph them for 40 years. 2,000 years old up top, space age underneath, and spotless the whole way through. That'll do me.